Mario Williams has officially hit the transfer portal, so that was expected. Caleb Williams has not. So just kind of outline where we stand and what are the expectations of Caleb Williams in regards to where he has set his sights, even though he hasn't officially entered the transfer portal, and now Mario Williams has, and their connection.
It's very bizarre, Mark. To your point, Caleb Williams announced this on Twitter midday on Monday, so we're going on almost 72 hours now since he'd made his social media declaration that he was going to hit the portal, but he has not officially hit the portal. From to your point about Mario Williams, he made his intentions known yesterday, and then almost immediately thereafter hit the portal. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really know, honestly, Mark, what to read into it. From some of the people that I've talked to, I get the feeling that if this decision was just Caleb Williams' decision alone, I don't think he would move. I don't think he would go forward. I think he's got some people maybe in his ear talking to him that they feel like that he could be put in a better position elsewhere other than Oklahoma. I'm not sure what's leading him to that leading them to that belief, but I think that's from some of the things that I've been hearing, that's the case. So from Mario Williams' perspective, he made no bones about it. He mentioned he's been very vocal about this over the last couple of days that he wants Caleb Williams to be his quarterback wherever that goes. So I think a lot of people, it's led a lot of people to think that Miami could be the landing place for both of these kids, specifically if Joe Brady is brought on as the offensive coordinator at Miami under Mario Cristobal staff. I know that there hasn't been I believe, at least over the last couple of hours, I don't think there's been an offensive coordinator named at Miami. So if that's the case, I think Miami probably has a leg up on both getting both of those kids. But I still stand firm with what we talked about yesterday, Mark. I would probably say 80-20 from my perspective that Caleb Williams is probably gone. There's probably a door in which the door's still open, right? But there's a path where he could return to Oklahoma. But I still think he's probably still he's still gone wherever that might be. Not sure.
So yesterday we talked about the connections that have been made. Some of them were just kind of assumed. Lincoln Riley, of course, recruited and signed him. He's an offensive guru, developer of quarterbacks. So that was more or less assumed, and it makes total sense. Other connections were made because of some more recent news. Georgia, you mentioned Miami, again, USC, and a few other spots, but those being some of the main ones, but Texas A&M also thrown into the mix. So also with Mario Williams, 35 catches this past season, 380 yards, about 11 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns. And you had mentioned to me that he had stated that he wasn't necessarily happy with the way he was used. Do you see that more or less as just a frequency issue? I need more targets, or in the way he's used on the field in regards to slot versus wide out, or what they're doing with him?
Yeah, I think it's more targets, Mark. I think that's more of the issue that he's had, and I think some of the fans have really had some of the same things. And I think, one of the things that's kind of rang true for Oklahoma. You saw how good of a season Charleston Rambo had at Miami, right? Didn't necessarily have the best year as a team, but him individually had a really good season, over 1,000 yards receiving, I believe, this year, and really put himself in a position to go to the NFL. And I think Oklahoma has seen some kids move on from Oklahoma and then have maybe a better season, a better career than they had at Oklahoma, whether it's underutilization or whatever it might be. Just maybe a different, perspective and a different a different place helps that out a little bit. So yeah, I think it was more of the underutilization in terms of targets, more so than anything else.
Charleston Rambo set the all-time Miami single season receiving mark. I believe that's in yardage, 1172. Sat out they didn't play the bowl game, but he was planning on opting out of the bowl game against Washington State. 79 catches, almost 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns for Rambo at Miami. And of course, they had a situation where D'Eriq King was initially the starter, got hurt. They were a bit in flux for about a game or so, but Tyler Van Dyke stepped in and turned out to be a find for them, as he turned out to have a tremendous season in final 8 or 9 games. So they seem to be set with their quarterback of the future. Although if Caleb Williams shows up, they could have quite the battle on their hands, because Tyler Van Dyke, really, he was throwing for like 350 a week, 3 and 4 touchdowns every week. Looking at Mario Williams' usage, his best game by far came against Texas Tech, 5 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown, but he was getting his 3 to 4 catches per week. Again, 35 catches overall, and finished up in the bowl game against Oregon with 2 catches for 33 yards, only less than 11 yards per catch for Mario Williams.